Are you going to Japan or planning to? Well, you've come to the right place. I've just come back from a 2-week holiday over there and learnt so much. So if you want to know how to get around, packing preparation, accommodation I stayed at and tips, food recommendations, matcha recommendations, and just how to have the best lay time over there, then watch on.
Hello and welcome back to my channel, Emielle. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. I am giving you guys all my Japan recommendations, tips and tricks. So I'm assuming if you clicked on this video, you are thinking about going to Japan or you've got a Japan trip planned. So I am a girly who just went to Japan, so I came back about like a month ago now. So I've got all the tips and tricks that I learned while I was over there and all the good recommendation and hidden little food spots and stuff I recommend for anyone to go and try. I loved being there. Alright, so I want to talk about packing essentials. If anyone has seen all the Japan videos on TikTok, seen other YouTube videos, they say number one tip is to pack lightly, and they mean it. Like, trust me, pack lightly. You will buy so many souvenirs. Everything is cute in Japan. Make sure you pack lightly. I personally had a big suitcase, so like the big one I brought to Europe last year with me, and half of it was completely empty. It literally just had my makeup bag and it was empty, and I filled up that entire space. That is showing you guys how much I bought there, and I'm a person who doesn't really shop. Make sure you pack for your season as well. So I went in June to July, so it was extremely hot and humid. I didn't really think it would be because I live in Australia and I was like, oh yeah, like easy done. I know how to experience like warm weather, but no, the humidity was insane. I was like sweating as soon as you step out of the hotel. So make sure you research about the weather you're going into and pack for the season. Make sure you pack versatile outfits, but you have to be aware of what you're wearing while you're in Japan. Japan is known to be conservative, and their culture, they don't really wear a lot of clothes that show like cleavage. So I'll just put some photos of what I wore. These are some Japan outfits. Specifically bought this like throw over button up from Target that was like on clearance, and I kid you not, I wore that every day. It was so good just to make sure that I wasn't feeling uncomfortable in the train. I felt uncomfortable going there and being the odd one out wearing like exposing clothes, so just having that little throwover I could put on really helped me. Another tip is to wear comfortable shoes. I kid you not, we walked around everywhere. We walk around non-stop, even though my friend fell downstairs and tore a ligament in her foot the first day we were there. But making sure you got comfortable shoes. I brought my New Balances 9060s and they were the best things ever. Those shoes feel like clouds to walk on. When you're packing as well and you're being aware of like what you're putting in terms of skincare and beauty products and like sunscreen, double check if you really need to bring that or like you might buy it over in Japan, because Japan's skincare and beauty products are insanely good. Like, you're probably gonna buy heaps and bring them home anyway. My friend didn't bring like a majority for skincare, and she went over there and bought a whole skincare regimen. I personally brought like all my skincare products, and it was really heavy, and then I ended up buying stuff there. Also, bring a small crossover. So if you've traveled overseas, you probably have known to buy one anyway because of theft. Japan is a very safe place. I actually lost my bag with like my passport and stuff, and beautiful person gave it back to me the next day. As soon as that happened, I was like, you know what, I am buying a new crossover bag that can like make sure it's tight against my body. So I went to Uniqlo and I bought this little crossover bag. They stock them everywhere in Uniqlo, like around the world. She's cute. I'm gonna use them when I travel at the end of the year as well. I've even made it like all Japan with like my little like souvenirs and stuff. This is as well in like the preparation before Japan kind of section, and that is to buy an eSIM. So if you don't know what an eSIM is, it's basically putting a SIM card in your phone, but like electronically, so you don't actually have to take out your old one and put it in. I got the 30 gigabyte I think, and I didn't use it up. Like, it was fine. I didn't even check how much I had left, honestly. Get an eSIM, very easy to put on your phone, and they work really well. All right, part 2 is transportation and basically getting around Japan. Everyone on TikTok has been like, oh my god, Japan is so hard to get around, their subway system is insane, good luck figuring it out. So my friend and I were really scared, and we were really worried. I found that the JR pass, which is a pass that lets you on like multiple of the subway routes in Japan, is actually not worth it anymore. So apparently they increased their prices in the past year, so it's significantly more expensive than just probably using a transport card that they use. I really recommend you looking at calculators and really seeing for how long you're going if it's worth it. But typically if you're going there for less than 3 weeks, a JR pass is not really worth it. So what we went with was a Suica card. So we downloaded the Suica card on our Apple wallet. I've got the Suica card here, and you just tap it, you top it up. You can use your Suica card at convenience stores like 7-Eleven and some shops as well. So if you've put on too much money on your card and it's like getting to the end of your trip and you're like, oh no, like how am I going to use this all? Just go to a 7-Eleven, start using it around instead of your actual card. Keep topping it up as you go. You get notifications every time you tap on and off about how much money is deducted, so that's really helpful as well, so you can keep track of that as well. And if you just double click and open your Apple Wallet, it'll tell you how much money you've got on your card anyway. Another recommendation is using a 3-day pass in Tokyo or other areas. So we only got the 3-day pass in Tokyo because it was included in our Narita Express pass. So Narita Express is a train that goes from Narita Airport into 2 of the main stations in Tokyo, and then you just jump on another train. It saved a lot of stress buying it online beforehand. Waited for our train, hopped on it. We had allocated seats and everything. It was really good. And it's like one of the fastest way to get to Tokyo. So buying this beforehand was really helpful. I will put the link in the description box. It's not affiliate or anything, I'm just helping you guys out. Including on that, you could add on a 3-day Tokyo pass, and it ended up being cheaper than just buying the 3-day Tokyo pass when you're in Tokyo. It looks like this. You insert it into like this hole and it's zips it up and gives it back to you, but it's valid for 72 hours after the first time you insert it. So that was really helpful because we were in Tokyo for like 3 days. Navigating the system and subway system in Japan can be a bit stressful, but what my friend and I found helpful was going on maps like Apple Maps or Google Maps. I'm an Apple Maps girl, unfortunately, so I use that, and it pretty much told me what platform to go to and etc. It really doesn't tell you where or how to get to the platform. You kind of have to figure that out yourself, but there is lots of signages around Japan near the subways, so that's really helpful. You'll be fine. There's a lot of stairs to go through, but you'll be good. Another tip is to ride the Shinkansen when you're going in long distances. So we did the Shinkansen between Tokyo and Kyoto, and then Kyoto to Tokyo back, and then between Kyoto and Osaka we just took a local train, which is pretty easy. The Shinkansens are really good. They're expensive, but they're worth it. They cut your travel time if you're going on normal trains, local trains, by like heaps and heaps. So Shinkansens are definitely worth it, and you can eat on it as well. Big warning, the train stations where you have to catch a Shinkansens on are insanely hectic. Like, I got so overwhelmed. The shops are busy, there are people walking everywhere, it's hectic. Like, you can easily miss your Shinkansen, and you don't want to because you spent so much money on it. You can't choose another time if you miss it. So just be aware that it's crazy at these stations, so maybe get there a little bit earlier so you don't miss your Shinkansen and you kind of figure out the whole gist of like how to get everywhere. Also, just be aware, like every trip on the train you have to pay. So if you take one train to somewhere for like 5 minutes and then go back somewhere else 5 minutes ago, but it's on a different line, you will have to pay the price for each individual trip, so it kind of can add up. So just keep that in mind if you're going like on lots of places on the same day. Specifically for Kyoto, actually, they use a lot of buses. I found that using buses was more efficient way than going on the trains. The subway system wasn't really as established in Kyoto, so the buses work in the same system. You can just use your Suica card on your phone, just tap it on the little screen that's there. You don't have to tap on the buses. You just jump on the bus, you ride, and then you tap off, and then that Suica card will charge you. You don't have to tap on and off like in the train station. Just another tip is be aware if you're riding the train or the bus in peak hour. It is insanely busy. You'll be squished like sardines. Like, people will be pushing you, because being in peak hour was not fun. I only went on peak hour once and it was just uncomfortable. This saved our lives, especially after my friend obviously injured her foot. We weren't going to carry our big luggages around everywhere, and especially after we bought lots of souvenirs, our luggage started to gain some weight. So pulling that around the stations and buses was not going to be fun. So we did this thing, the luggage forwarding. Majority of hotels do it. Just ask them in the reception, like the receptions are so nice. Ask them for a luggage forwarding slip. They normally fill it out like themselves. You just give them the hotel name. They'll give them a call, be like, okay, is it okay, this person's coming this day, we'll send the luggage. They give you a price and measure your luggage, and it was pretty good. Like my friend and I, we had 2 big luggages and it was like $40 each trip for 2 luggages, compared to like the struggle of carrying your luggage. The train stations in Japan aren't suitcase friendly. You will rarely find an escalator or a lift or an escalator that goes the way you want. Normally the stations have like one escalator that like either goes down or up, but the other side is stairs. The lift's also really hard to find if there is a lift. I honestly didn't mind paying the extra price for luggage forwarding. All right, I'm gonna go through the accommodation I stayed at. So my friend and I booked all our accommodation through booking.com because she's traveled a lot and I have traveled a lot with my parents. Last year in Europe, we were very high in genius levels on booking.com, so we got some good discounts, so we went through that. So personally, that really worked for us. You can try Airbnbs. Unfortunately, I cannot say if it works well in Japan or not because we didn't do any Airbnbs at all. We only ended up spending about $800 on accommodation for over 2 weeks. We also spent extra because we wanted 2 single beds compared to 1 combined bed. Just be aware that the hotels in Japan are generally really small, so you won't be able to like bring a big suitcase in and leave it open the whole time. Either unpack your suitcase or just take out what you need, close it, and keep doing that again. That's personally what we did because you got to do what you got to do in Japan. Some of our hotel rooms are pretty big actually because of the 2 single beds. Like we realized, oh yeah, this room's actually really big, but don't expect a big ass bathroom or a big ass luxurious place unless you're spending a lot of coin on that. And also be aware that there is accommodation tax, so when you check in you'll have to pay tax. We mostly paid it in cash because it was really cheap. It would be like $1 to $2 Australian per person for like a couple nights stay. So yeah, just have some coins with you. Don't get rid of all your coins because it'll be super easy to pay the accommodation tax when you get there. Fun fact, most hotels gave us pajamas and water, so we would rock up, there'll be pajamas on the bed or something, and they'll always give a fresh bottle of water every day. They would also change the pajamas every day. That was really kind of them and really nice. So if you are also worried about your luggage being really big, you can always only bring 1 pair of pajamas. Occasionally wear the hotel's pajamas. They're all comfy, they're all good to sleep in, like they're clean, they're pretty good. All right, so I will go through the hotels we stayed at. The first hotel we stayed at was Shinjuku Grand Hotel in Tokyo. This place was really nice. One of our smallest rooms, but as a first place stay in Japan, it was really nice. It was really close to Shinjuku Station, really easy access to the station, and also 7-Eleven was just down the road. So it was in a really good spot away from like the busyness, so it was kind of like in a quiet street. The reception was super helpful and the place was nice and clean. The second place we stayed in Tokyo was the Akasaka Sleep Lab. So these are the little capsule hotels. Everyone says to try them. I'll say give them a shot, but don't expect too much. The mattress was very uncomfortable. It wasn't really a good sleep for me. It was a good experience to have. Like they give you your slippers, your like pajamas and everything, and this place like gave us a sleep report because we signed up for it. So that was really cool to have a look at. Experience the capsule hotel, like why not? Then along on the way to Kyoto, we stayed at Hotel Pagnons and Ems. That place was really good. The location was like insanely good. We'll just walk straight down and the subway would be there as well. And it was really close to Nishiki markets, which I'll get onto later. Just good location. I would give it a 4 out of 5 because yeah, it was out of the busyness of Kyoto as well. On the way to Osaka, we stayed at Luxcare Hotel. This place was alright for the price. We found it a bit far from subway entrances, like we had to walk a bit, but it was really close to a lot of cafes and stuff which we were interested in going in the morning because a lot of places aren't open in the morning. I would give it like a 3.5 out of 5. Like it was good price. Like we stayed there 4 nights. Really big benefit, the room was huge. That in mind, if you want extra space in Osaka, that room was huge. Then in Nara, we stayed at this place which lovely. I would give it 5 out of 5 stars because they treated me and my friend so well. It was Iroha Grand Hotel Kinetsu Nara. It was like right in the heart of Nara, right next to the station, so you don't have to walk far, and right near all the shops and everything. Recommend, really recommend. We found such a good deal for this place, and it was a really small room, one of our smallest, but like the bed was so comfortable. All right, next part is on to shopping and recommendations just around Japan. I mentioned before about stocking up on Japanese skincare products and just beauty products. I don't know about men's products, but I'm assuming they're good too. But for females, they are insane. The one-stop shop that you can get them is Don Quijote. Like, go to a Don Quijote, go to one that has more than 5 floors, because that is such an experience. You will spend like over an hour going around looking all the floors, filling up your basket so big. This was our basket on the first day, and I kid you not, we went back to Don Quijote like 3-4 more times and also got so much more stuff. If you spend over $55 as well, you get tax-free, which love. They do package it away so you can't open it until you go back to your home country. So if you are wanting to use some skincare products or whatever products that you buy, like food, snack, just tell the cashier that that's not tax-free, and then they'll separate them. Food there was insane, so they had all these like Kit Kat flavors, which I recommend buying and bringing them home because they're so cool to like try. Also, another really good thing was these strawberry chocolates. They're like in these little like mountain shapes. They were insane. I went through packets of these. Matcha Pocky, absolutely good. If you're a matcha girly, they are insane. I bought 3 packets. Like, love them. I will just briefly show you like the beauty products I bought and I absolutely love. The Fino hair mask. This is amazing. My hair has never felt more slay after a wash. I also bought the honey oil. My friend really liked the pink one. I don't remember what the pink one was, but this is obviously in the gold packaging. This is amazing as well. It's a very thick oil though, so beware if you have thin hair like me. This moisturizer I bought on such a whim. We were just in Don Quijote randomly and I was like, okay, wait, I didn't buy any moisturizer from here, I'll buy it. I think it's moisturizer, I don't even know. I froth it. So dewy, so good. So I'm gonna try and find a way to get it in Australia because I love it. I also bought this soy milk cleanser. That was again another impulse buy, but I kid you not, I love it. I also bought this little eye cream from a chemist, and I've never really used eye cream, but it's so good. Recommend buying. I also recommend buying heaps of face masks. Their face masks are really good, and they come in big packages and they're cheap. Convenience stores for snacks or like breakfast or whatever. 7-Eleven is your holy grail. Everyone was saying about 7-Eleven and I was like, nah, I don't believe you guys. It was absolutely insane. The snacks there, the onigiri's insane. My favorite onigiri was the tuna one, tuna mayo. Like, I would have it like nearly every day. The smoothies at 7-Eleven are so cool as well, like putting them in the machine. My favorite flavor at the end of the trip ended up being blueberry. The amount of times I went to 7-Eleven was actually beyond me. Like, we went every day, multiple times a day. I had this orange drink as well, but this photo here, I don't remember its name, but give it a try if you're in Japan. I really liked it. Vitamin shots in 7-Eleven are actually insane. So if you're feeling under the weather in Japan, I would say go to your nearest convenience store, preferably 7-Eleven, go to the vitamin section like here and grab one. I would get the vitamin C ones shot. So I had a couple sore throats like going in and out. I took a shot of this and I felt so good the rest of the day. Really cheap too and actually pretty tasty. Kittyland is really cool here. I don't think we have Kittyland in Australia, but if you love collecting like little character goods and stuff like that, go to Kittyland. Even just for the experience, they're normally really hectic and you can get like collectibles and stuff and find really cool stuff. I started collecting more for sand cats and smiskies. The blind packages were so fun, and on top of that, going to gachapon stores, absolutely so fun. That little dinosaur I showed you guys on my bag, that was from a gachapon on my first day there. They're just so cool. Like, they're really cheap. You just put them in and you get like a blind character and it's so fun. You go back home with your friend and you like unbox them, you go, what did you get? Might be a bit controversial, but it is Universal Studios over Disneyland. I found Disneyland not really adult friendly. All the rides are like really made for kids, and I know you guys are gonna say, oh, Disneyland, like it's Disney, but like there wasn't really any scary rides. We didn't even go on weekend days as well, and they were like completely hectic. Like the lines are so long to get through, and there were no single rider line in Disneyland, but there were in Universal, so that helped get through the lines really quickly. Yeah, I just found they weren't really accommodating to adults in terms of like scary fun rides if you're into that. Still a really fun experience. The food was really cheap in Disneyland, surprisingly, compared to Universal, so they both have their pros and cons, but I found Universal more applicable for adults or like teenagers and stuff. And also like the characters in Universal are so cool. Just gonna give some recommendations as well about like places to see. Fushimi Inari in Kyoto is that little red gate shrine that you see all over. Again, I'll put some photos here. This place was really magical. It was really cool to walk through and see like the vibrant colors and see a shrine for the first time. So this was the first shrine my friend and I went to. Keep in mind that it will be super busy and you will not be walking through those shrine gates really quickly. Go to a cat cafe or an animal cafe. So Japan is known for like their really cool animal cafes. Cats there were so cute. Here's some photos. I love sharing the photos. They were really taken care of well off from what we saw. Dotonbori in Osaka is a must-see. Just a warning for any of you guys watching out there, do not go on a weekend. We made that mistake. We booked Osaka like from Friday to like Tuesday, with like one of the days being Universal. So we went to Dotonbori on the weekend. It was insane. Like you could barely walk through it, barely go in the shops, you can barely get out of the shops. Maybe try and put Dotonbori on the weekday, but otherwise it's really worth seeing and going through the shops there and seeing the sign. All right, this video is so long, but I'm gonna get to my food recommendations. I've got some little places that you probably won't see on TikTok, not that I've seen. I'm gonna go through cafes first because cafes are a big thing because lots of places aren't open in the morning. Some of the cafes that my friend and I went back multiple times. The first one, Kamita's Coffee. This place was absolutely insane. Their honey coffee to die for, and just their breakfast deal. So if you bought a coffee or a drink, you would get like a free toast with like a topping and like an egg or like whatever protein was in the mix. That was really cool. So we would get like a huge breakfast and be full for the rest of the day and have like that thing for free. Eclixir, I don't know if I'm saying that, but Eclixir Japan, their matcha was actually really good and my friend raved on about their coffee. I also went to Greensberry Coffee, that was in Osaka. That place was really good as well. Their matcha was pretty good and they had like lots of flavors of scones. Let's go on to ramen. So Ichiran ramen, you've probably seen it all over. It tasted pretty good. It was actually one of the first ramens we had and we're like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then we had other ones and we realized like pretty alright, but it's not the best thing. It's cheap yamaslay. Just keep in mind that you'll be waiting in line for a long time. I would recommend adding an egg because their salted egg is pretty good. This next ramen place is in Kyoto. Kid you not, it was the best ramen I've ever had in my life and I dream about it to this day. It is called Ramen Sakurai. Please go here if you want to have a really good ramen. So it's a little small shop and you have to wait in line if like it's busy. Their ramen was insane. This next ramen is in Osaka. It's Ramen Tanimachi. It's like a little shop as well and they're only open for a certain amount of time until they sell out. Their line was huge when we first went there. We're like, okay, we just randomly found this on Google Maps, like whatever, it's near a hotel. It was so good. It was so big, the bowl as well, we couldn't finish it. Really good ramen. Little places to go is Nishiki Market in Kyoto. The food that you'll find here is insane. I had like a matcha ice cream, I had tempura, like vegetables, like sweet potato. It's like full market vibes. Like you're gonna spend hours here just walking through the whole like way and trying all these different foods. It's a really cool way to immerse yourself in like the experience of Japan. So I would really recommend go to Nishiki Market. In Nishiki Markets, you're gonna find daifuku strawberries. The strawberries in Japan are so like huge and fresh and just delicious. This bar in Osaka, guys, Bar Outlaws 71, please go there. My friend and I went back 3 times. We were there for 4 nights in Osaka. We went back 3 times. Only we didn't go 1 time because it was closed on Sunday night. The owner is the sweetest guy ever. He doesn't speak English, so we just talk to him, Google Translate. We'd show him a cocktail and he'd be like, yeah, like hi, and he would do it. Like so wholesome. Like one day it was raining and he gave us his umbrella and then like he didn't really tell us to return or anything, but we came back then the day after the next because it was closed on the Sunday. We gave it back to him and he was so sweet. If you go up and you're the only people there, like just know you're making his day because often my friend and I were the only people there. So yeah, please go to this bar if you're staying in Osaka. I'm gonna get into the cool part and that is matcha. I am a matcha lover. I love my matcha. I bought 5 little tins of matcha. I froth matcha, alright? So there are 4 matcha places that I remember I went to. I had matcha every day anyways. Number 1, Matcha Tokyo. Go there. I know it's hyped on TikTok, but it was actually really good. It was my first matcha in Japan, so it was a slay experience. It is a bit pricey compared to other places, but really good. Like they do alternative milks and stuff. Next place was Moxie Moxie in Kyoto. This was full cream milk, just FYI, because I found out the hard way, but their strawberry matcha was the best thing I've ever had, despite the fact it was full cream milk. Here's a photo here. It was like insanely good. I mentioned this place before, Eclipse Japan, the little cafe. I found their matchas pretty alright. Like if it's just something that you need to go, their matcha's pretty good. It's not like the best thing, but like it's pretty good. Then you've got in Kyoto, Suji. I'm reading this off the computer and making sure I'm looking at the camera at the same time. This place, they gave us testing of matcha. They had matcha drinks to also have and matcha powders to buy. I bought 2 matcha powders from them because they were so good. It was so delicious. I would really recommend going there if you're in that kind of old side of Kyoto. Otherwise, I bought my matcha powder from Tsukiji Market. There is a matcha place there where I had matcha ice cream. That was pretty slay. All right guys, that is my like major tips and advice for Japan. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and are taking little notes down to help yourself. I hope if you're going to Japan, you're gonna have the best time ever. I hope that everything goes smoothly and that it is a fun time. Literally just enjoy Japan, like eat a lot, shop a lot. You're gonna think you're spending a lot of money, but like with the exchange rate right now, it's pretty slay. If you guys have any other tips or tricks for Japan or recommendations for food or drinks, put them down in the comments, help each other out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I make a lot of lifestyle videos, productivity videos, wellness, just helping y'all out, helping myself out, figuring life out as like this little girl in the world. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to keep on smiling and shining that light inside you. Bye guys.
Are you going to Japan or planning to? Well, you've come to the right place. I've just come back from a 2-week holiday over there and learnt so much. So if you want to know how to get around, packing preparation, accommodation I stayed at and tips, food recommendations, matcha recommendations, and just how to have the best lay time over there, then watch on.